Yeah. Step back, city rhythm running under my feet. Fast flow thoughts tapping out a coded heartbeat. Reframe mind in the grid so deep. I redraw lines where the pause might sleep. Concrete echoes, but I'm calm in the spin. High rate cadence in the battle within. Humor in the jabs with a minimal grin. Sharp syllables stitching every bar I begin. Street lights flicker on a restless map. Every detail caught in a lightning snap. Inside packed in a verbal trap. Fast threads weaving through the mental gap. No violence needed, I refine instead. Craft clean edges in the bars I've bled. Self-made stance with a forward tread. Urban reframing the life I've led.
Urban reframe, steady mind on the climb. Fast flow running through a double timeline. City keeps shifting, but I realign. Turning every movement into something refined. Urban reframe, steady mind on the climb. Fast flow running through a double timeline. City keeps shifting, but I realign. Turning every movement into something refined.
Blueprints vanish, but I build by feel. Quiet intuition on a balance wheel. Every misread moment turns into steel. I forge new routes with a calm appeal. Deep in the maze, but I still decode. Fast flow fuel in a pressure low mode. Wordplay tight where the meanings explode. Mature tone carry through a heavy road. Wit stay sharp when the lights grow thin. Streets read different when you look within. Center myself in the outer spin. Drop fast bars like a violin. Humor in the shade when the doubts get loud. But I step through smooth, never phased by a crowd. Clean cut phrasing in a verse I'm bout. Urban refrain keeps the vision proud. Fast threads flipping in a tight crossfade. Every move measured in the choices made. Reframe moments when the doubts invade. Turn the noise down, let the mind upgrade. Post stay steady in a night parade. I redraw patterns that the shadow shade. Fast flow slicing through a bright cascade. Urban reframing the life I've laid.
Urban reframe, steady mind on the climb. Fast flow running through a double timeline. City keeps shifting, but I realign. Turning every movement into something refined. Urban reframe, steady mind on the climb. Fast flow running through a double timeline. City keeps shifting, but I realign. Turning every movement into something refined.
Urban reframe and the love I've been. Urban reframe and the love I've been. Urban reframe and the life I've been. Urban reframe and the life. Urban reframe and the life I've lived. Reframe roots in a moving frame. Fast flow built on a steady flame. Every bar signed with a quiet claim. Mind stay sharp in the shifting game. Urban pulse riding through the strain. Fast lines cutting through the night terrain. Reframe thought with a measured grain. Rise through the noise, I remain contained.
I'm buzzing, but my mind stays clean. Fast lace wording in a tight machine. Edges aligned in a grayscale sheen. I pace through pressure with a low-key lean. Thoughts cut quick in a rising awe. Quiet but sharp like a midnight spark. Lines stacked tight in a fluent mark. I speak through noise, but I live in the dark. In the gears turning in a quiet fold. I craft each phrase with a tempered hold. Humor in the shade when the nights get cold. Still keep stride with the rhythm control. No crime talk, just the calm I keep. Insight flickers in a pattern so deep. Street bred logic with the study sweep. Mind and emotion in the pulse is steep. Mind and emotion cut through the haze. Fast flow drawn in a lattice of phrases. City runs frantic but I keep my ways. Turning raw minutes into crafted displays. Mind and emotion cut through the haze. Fast flow drawn in a lattice of phrases. City runs frantic but I keep my ways. Turning raw minutes into crafted displays. Night Nighttime tremors in the crosswalk glare. I read small cues in the split thin air. Measure temperament in a tensile stare. Fast lines woven with a precise repair. In a reframe on a streetlight bend. I track each change like a seasoned friend. Patterns evolve when the limits extend. Mind stays centered as the currents descend. Warm, smooth, and synced in a verbal spin. I pull tight rhythms from the noise within. Self-built tone with a settled grin. I glide through tension with a balanced chin. Urban silence in a rushing crowd. I hold my shape when the voices get loud. Clean cut grammar in a verse I'm bout. Mind under motion keeps the insight proud. Fast trends twisting in a grayscale reel. Every small truth gets a heightened feel. Step past doubts when they press and peel. Craft new angles where the faults reveal. Even in the blur when the nights congeal. Mind stays firm in a tempered steel. Stride so steady on a rolling wheel. I tune each beat into something real. Mind under motion, cut through the haze. Fast flow drawn in a lattice of phrases. City runs frantic, but I keep my ways. Turning raw minutes into crafted displays. Mind under motion, cut through the haze. Fast flow drawn in a lattice of phrases. City runs frantic, but I keep my ways. Turning raw minutes into crafted displays. Fast streaks flare in a calm sustain. I read each shift in a coded chain. Mind stays mobile through the urban strain. Still climb edges where the doubts remain. No lost pace in the downtown rain. Every bar built in a measured frame. Motion inside like a quiet flame. Mind keeps moving but I stay the same.
Edge trace moving in a side lane drift. Fast coded cadence in a razor shift. City born pressure in a midday lift. I read each cue with a subtle gift. Micro inflection in a tight parse line. I call fast patterns in a slant design. Humor in the fold of a quick incline. Still hold calm when the stakes combine. Street sense tuned in a crisp detail. I walked in roots on a balanced rail. Mindset steady when the margins fail. Fast flow climbing in a quiet scale. No dark tails, just a sharpened core. Inside rising through a crowded floor. Self-built focus in a low-key roar. Vector of clarity built to explore. Vector of clarity cut through the pace. Fast flow weaving in a tight-knit chase. City runs hectic but I hold my space. Every quick second gets a clean retrace. Vector of clarity cut through the pace. Fast flow weaving in a tight-knit chase. City runs hectic but I hold my space. Every quick second gets a clean retrace. Yeah. Night hum drifting in a cross street mark. I trace faint signals in a moving dark. Decision mapped in a mental mark. Fast bar slip in a seamless spark. Self-made rhythm in a coded lane. I parsed in patterns in a fine grain chain. Calm set firm when the currents strain. Insight blooms through the hidden terrain. Quiet ambition in a forward glide. I keep tight balance on the urban tide. Humor flicks out when the doubts collide. Still stay rooted with a centered pride. Logic spinning in a contour loop. Fast steps thread in a tightened scoop. Mind stays crisp when the echoes troop. Clarity cuts through the city group. Fast trends merge in a weightless thread. Vision refines with attention spread. I shift through noise with a calm instead. Chasing pure forms in a forward tread. Angels flipping in a thought stream bed. Every small change in a pulse I read. Vector aligned where the doubts once led. Staying composed when the lines go red. Vector of clarity cut through the pace. Fast flow weaving in a tight-knit chase. City runs hectic but I hold my space. Every quick second gets a clean retrace. Vector of clarity cut through the pace. Fast flow weaving in a tight-knit chase. City runs hectic but I hold my space. Every quick second gets a clean retrace.
Fast streaks rising in a clean cut climb. Steps resynced in a sleek incline. Clarity pulses in a coded rhyme. I refine a line through the urban climb. Wide scan focus in a measured line. I trace new rules through a shifting sign. Vector stays crisp in a long run spine. Hold through the chaos, the balance is mine.
on the skyline, parsing every move. Mine's a chessboard, cities in the groove. Threads of the night weave, in a coated weave. I strike with logic, let the rhythm breathe. Footsteps echo where the currents twist. Every step precise, nothing left to miss. Humor in the jab, subtle like a wink. Patterns in the dark, faster than you think. Signals flicker in the alleys I roam. Angel shift tight, I'm always in my zone. Post-calibrated thoughts never collide. Every lane align where the street lights guide. I navigate quiet but the world feels loud. Fast flow threading through the moving crowd. Self-built clarity, mind like a prism. Breaking through noise with meticulous rhythm. Horizon codes, read the lines, see the signs. Fast flow mapping all the edges of the mind. City moves wild but I keep a tight design. Every step intentional, every word aligned. Horizon codes, read the lines, see the signs. Fast flow mapping all the edges of the mind. City moves wild but I keep a tight design. Every step intentional, every word aligned. Night hums low but I cut through the haze. Mind elevated in 1,000 ways. Patterns twist under every neon glow. I track the subtle signals other minds don't know. Angels fold sharp in a silent parade. Calculating moves like a grand arcade. Humor in the line where the tension will crack. I flip the flow smooth, never looking back. Threads interlace in the matrix of thought. Every bar measured, no syllable is caught. Urban rhythm pulses in the back of my head. I sculpt every path where my logic led. Self-contained power moves to liberate. Every pattern refined in the moment sight. Vision stays clear while the chaos explodes. I code the streets with my horizon codes. I fast trends twisting a precise design. Mapping every alley, every curve of the line. Quiet insight turns to chaos to mind. Angles converge where the currents align. Thoughts interlock like gears in a frame. Every calculated step adds to my name. Urban symphony, I play in the shade. Horizon codes, got the paths I laid up. Horizon codes, read the lines, see the signs. Fast flow, mapping all the edges of the mind. City moves wild, but I keep it tight design. Every step intentional, every word aligned. Horizon codes, read the lines, see the signs. Fast flow, mapping all the edges of the mind. City moves wild, but I keep it tight design. Every step intentional, every word aligned. Threads of the night, every corner precise. Mind sharp and tuned, every pattern concise. Steps calculated in the city's device. I decode the rhythm, slice through the ice. Horizon stretching where the skyline bends. Every bar coded, every motion extends. Fast flow, master the logic never corrodes. Closing the night with my horizon codes.
Look.
Step in the grip, mind lit like a prism. Fast flow thoughts, every line is a schism. City hums deep, but I cut through the rhythm. Every step calculated, precise in my system. Shadows flicker, streets whisper, coded tales. I weave through the noise, mind sharp as the scales. Humor in the jab, light strike never fails. Double time pulse, every verse unveils. Sidewalk pressure, pulse syncs with my feet. Angles align where the street and logic meet. Fast threads laced with a rhythm so neat. Every line a map, every flow elite. Eyes wide open while the night spins tight. I pass through the dark with a scholar's sight. Wordplay layered in the urban twilight. Every bar spark, every rhyme ignites. Urban awakening, rise through the night. Mind fast lace, never losing sight. Every move precise, flow taking flight. I navigate chaos while the streets ignite. Urban awakening, rise through the night. Mind fast lace, never losing sight. Every move precise, flow taking flight. I navigate chaos while the streets ignite. Corners murmur secrets, alleys humming code. Step through the blocks like a fast flow mode. Lay a rhyme spin like a mental load. Logic in motion, mind sharp as a sword. Jab subtle wit quick, slicing through the air. Every syllable measured, none left bare. Pulse in the vein streets, rhythm I share. Fast flow master, navigating with care. Nightscape pulses, lights flicker in sequence. I thread through the hum with a clean conscience. Angels fold in a calculated presence, every rhyme precise. No noise, no pretense. Humor light, jab sharp, my craft is refined. Fast track flow, every line designed. Urban mind awake, streets full of line. Every step, every beat, consciously timed. Fast glance, quick stance, thread the night's arc. Every shadow analyzed, every spark. Mind elevated, light cut in the dark. Flow unstoppable, leaving a mark. Thread lanes with precision, edges intact. Every rhyme a vector, keeping the track. City hums coded, my thoughts react. Fast flow architect, full skill intact. Urban awakening, rise through the night. Mind fast laced, never losing sight. Every move precise, flow taking flight. I navigate chaos while the streets ignite. Urban awakening, rise through the night. Mind fast laced, never losing sight. Every move precise, flow taking flight. I navigate chaos while the streets ignite. Lay steps threading through the urban maze. Mind on fire, syllable sharp like rays. Fast flow warrior through the night's haze. Every line cold, the streets in a blaze. Urban awakening, full mind and design. Flow unbroken, steps precise align. Every verse, every bar, deliberately fine. Fast flow monster, city logic defined. Yeah. 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 Fast-paced, mind cut clean through the static. Every step plotted with the logic automatic. City noise heavy, but my thoughts acrobatic. Flip line sharp, double time mathematic. Night folds open like a blueprint spread. Every pattern mapped out inside my head. Humor in the jab like touch instead. Precision in the path where the wise ones tread. Angle shift quick, but I stay aligned. Fast flow stitching every thread refined. No rush needed when the insight's time. I run the numbers even while I rhyme. Pressure on the block, but my pulse stay straight. Cool con stride through a narrow fate. I see routes, others calculate late. Fast flow mind in a heightened state. Silent calculation, stepping through the night. Every move measured, every rhythm tight. Fast flow motion in the code of flight. Reading every shift in the edge of the light. Silent calculation, stepping through the night. Every move measured, every rhythm tight. Fast flow motion in the code of flight. Reading every shift in the edge of the light. Deep in the grid where the signals twist. I read through the haze, others might have missed. Fast threads crossing in the city of risk. Every line hit sharp like a strategist. Calm disposition while the streets go loud. I glide through the hum like I'm ghosting the crowd. Jab with a grin, subtle but proud. Syllables cutting clean, layered in loud. Numbers align in the back of my mind. Trace every pattern with a clarity fine. Fast flow logic in the rhythm design. Rhymes on rails as the beats combine. No wasted motion, no mislaid step. I keep the map tight, calculations kept. Silent precision in the secret swept. Every bar lands with a promise met. Fast line vision, cut through the glare. Every coded moment hangs in the air. Measured decisions everywhere. Silent but sharp threads laid bare. Mind tuned tight with a swift dispatch. Every beat locked like a perfect match. Edge of the city keep lighting the latch. Fast flow thinking with a flawless patch. Silent calculation, stepping through the night. Every move measured, every rhythm tight. Fast flow motion in the code of flight. Reading every shift in the edge of the light. Silent calculation, stepping through the night. Every move measured, every rhythm tight. Fast flow motion in the code of flight. Reading every shift in the edge of the light. In a silent stride. Fast tracks running on the inner side. Every beat mirrors how the thoughts collide. Precision in the chaos where the truth reside. Silent calculation, lines refined. Every verse balanced like a perfect line. Fast flow structure in a coded design. Stepping through the night where the patterns align.
Yeah. Yeah.
Na 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 na.
Side view, focus on the sideways lane. Fast flow pressure in the mid-city frame. Pulse so calm in the escalating chain. I glide through tension like an insulated vein. Micro shift snap with a pinpoint read. I catch small tells in the angles of speed. Light humor drop with a subtle lead, while I thread tight patterns with a clean set creed. Refined instincts on a razor line. I measure each step with a pace design. In the work stack, then I lay your spine. Fast threads flick in a double time grind. No crime talk, just a quiet ascent. Mind so sharp that it cuts through cement. Self-built poise with a street accent. Urban composure in a fast environment. Peripheral drive, see the motion they miss. Fast flow coded in a calculus twist. City runs wild, but I move with a bliss. Shaping every second like a tailored abyss. Peripheral drive, see the motion they miss. Fast flow coded in a calculus twist. City runs wild, but I move with a bliss. Shaping every second like a tailored abyss. Subtle patterns hidden in the shifting haze. I decode tension in the crosswalk maze. Intellect polished in a long warm phase. Still bounce humor in the tight wordplay. Layered cadence in the high-speed gloss. Fast run syllables with a frictionless toss. Urban complex where the circuits cross. I win small battles with a measured ethos. Streetwise line with a clean technique. Fast flow cuts in a sharp mystique. No noise needed, no violent streak. Just crafted bars in a fluent critique. City's loud pulse never shakes my route. I refined out till it phases out. Voice stays steady in a world of shout. Peripheral drive keeps the insight style. Fast threads bending in a lateral drift. Clear sight vision in a balance shift. I stay grounded when the currents lift. Turning quiet moments into inner gift. Patterns merge in a hidden rift. Every step framed in a subtle lift. Peripheral mind in the midnight shift. Urban evolution in the crafted script. Peripheral drive, see the motion they miss. Fast flow coded in a calculus twist. City runs wild, but I move with a bliss. Shaping every second like a tailored abyss. Peripheral drive, see the motion they miss. Fast flow coded in a calculus twist. City runs wild, but I move with a bliss. Shaping every second like a tailored abyss.
Still scan wide with a pinpoint glide. Fast flow stretching through the long city stride. Every detail caught in the slipstream tide. I refine, redesign, never step aside. Peripheral nerves in a sharper line. Fast thoughts cracking in a high-speed sign. City keeps moving, but the rhythm is mine. Drop stays peripheral, come by design.
Yeah.
Yo. Pulse rate flicker in the skyline spin. Fast thread bars where the long nights begin. Scroll through pressure with a disciplined grin. I refine each flaw till the shape grows thin. Micro shift timing in the downtown sway. I draw sharp angles in a mind display. Cut through static in a freeway gray. Every small setback turns into clay. Layered ambition in a coded route. I frame each doubt till the edge is mute. Humor in the heat when the claims get bruised. Still glide smooth with a crisp salute. Streetwise calm in a high-speed zone. Fast lace rhythm in a baritone tone. Mapping each step like a milestone. Velocity within carve my own. Velocity within, let the tempo collide. Fast flow stitching in a rapid divide. City keeps rushing but I stay aligned. Cut in 2 seconds with a sharpened mind. Velocity within, let the tempo collide. Fast flow stitching in a rapid divide. City keeps rushing but I stay aligned. Cut in 2 seconds with a sharpened mind. Heartbeat sinking to a sideways beat. I walk tight lines in a thermal heat. Intellect bending where the crossroads meet. Fast bars land with a balanced fleet. Self-built grind in a coded arc. I rise through tension with a grounded spark. Night track city in a depth so stark, but I sift calm signals through a moving dog. Measure presence in a frantic sprawl. I read quick shifts in a hidden crawl. Humor in the gaps where the doubts might fall. Still stand firm with a steady enthrall. No vice talk, just a sharpened core. Fast flow cuts in a high-speed roar. Quiet determination in a long detour. Velocity within keeps me wanting more. 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 Yeah. Fast lines pivot in a tight cascade. Remap vision in a cool charade. Inner momentum in a calm upgrade. Reroute conflict in a skill I've made. Whole stays focused in a night parade. Every setback placed like a card I played. Velocity humming in a depth relayed. I shift through noise with a quiet shade. Velocity within, let the tempo collide. Fast flow stitching in a rapid divide. City keeps rushing but I stay aligned. Good in 2 seconds with a sharpened mind. Velocity within, let the tempo collide. Fast flow stitching in a rapid divide. City keeps rushing but I stay aligned. Good in 2 seconds with a sharpened mind. Yeah. Fast transport in a rising climb. Beat lock motion in a seamless rhyme. In a acceleration through a tight skyline. And refine, define, never drop the sign. Quiet resolve in a post design. Steps rerouted on a curved incline. Velocity travels in a coded spine. Push through limits, the rhythm is mine. Yeah.
Under life currents in a tight cross stream. Fast laid patterns and the margin between. Thoughts shift quick in a grayscale scheme. I carve new routes in a logic machine. Quiet composure in a high-paced block. I read small fractures in the city's clock. Lines stay wound in a seamless lock. Subcurrent focus when the noise runs hot. Intellect turning in a smooth full crease. I balance each bar with a calm release. No crime talk, just an inner increase. Fast flow threading in a ceaseless piece. Humor in the mix when the stakes grow thin. I catch cool angles with a half-cut grin. Mindset sharpen where the doubts begin. Every tight pattern says discipline. Subcurrent focus cut through the spin. Fast flow dialed in a tight built grin. City keeps pushing but I stay within. Mapping all the static with a center skin. Subcurrent focus cut through the spin. Fast flow dialed in a tight built grin. City keeps pushing but I stay within. Mapping all the static with a center skin. Night shift glow in the sidebar lane. I draw clean signals in the mental chain. Sub-layer logic in the street light rain. Fast lines rising through the window pane. Self-shaped method with a crisp edge trait. I gauge small cues in the shifting weight. Pose stay steady when the stakes inflate. Insight blossoms at a heightened rate. Cadence bending in a long run thread. I craft smooth frames with attention bled. Quiet ambition in a forward spread. Fast flow pulses in the steel like stead. Urban echoes in the thin lined haze. I see hidden routes in the substreet maze. Never lose calm in the hectic phase. I reframe motion in a mindful gaze. Fast trans weaving through a quiet storm. Patterns align in a subtle reform. Distance from chaos keeps my focus warm. Every new challenge becomes my form. Shift through layers in a coded swarm. Mind stays balanced when the nights transform. Subcurrent rhythm in a steady norm. I rise through pressure in a calm. Outperform. Subcurrent focus cut through the spin. Fast flow dialed in a tight built grin. City keeps pushing but I stay within. Mapping all the static with a centered skin. Subcurrent focus cut through the spin. Fast flow dialed in a tight built grin. City keeps pushing but I stay within. Mapping all the static with a centered skin. Fast streaks gliding in a shadowed line. Thoughts keep folding in a clean design. Every rough second gets a new refine. I pause through chaos with a coded spine. Subcurrent vision in a high incline. Tuned to the motion in a low-key shine. Mind keeps shaping what the streets define. Focus stays deep and the rhythm is mine.
With a sharpened gaze, Every move counted in a subtle maze. Mind in the laces where the streets overlap. Fast flow cutting through a pattern map. Corners whisper but I read the code. Angles calculated, never overload. Humor humor in the swing of a measured quip. I glide through signals, never let them slip. Post in alignment with the city's hum. I catch the minor shifts that most will shun. Self-contained focus in a crowded space. Every syllable carved with a careful trace. No need for rush where the rhythm flows. I thread through tension as the skyline glows. Vision intact in the rolling parade. Refined angles drawn where the shadows fade. Refined angles, mind sharp through the grind. Fast flow threading all the edges I find. City moves wild, but I stay aligned. Every step deliberate, every word defined. Refined angles, mind sharp through the grind. Fast flow threading all the edges I find. City moves wild, but I stay aligned. Every step deliberate, every word defined. Nightscape pulses in a calculated line. I read the micro moves where the street lights shine. Patterns unfolding like a coded rhyme. Fast flow threading every fragment of time. Humor light, subtle jabbing the thread. I slice through hesitation where others dread. Self-refined logic in a measured tone. Every bar anchored, every move my own. Edges of the city bending to my view. I pass through signals others can't construe. Tension in the air, but I ride the wave. Every insight collected, every thought I save. Silent currents guide the steps I take. Mind too precise, never prone to break. Fast flow mastery in a dense urban range. Refined angles shifting, constant and strange. Fast trends bending in the lattice of thought. Every subtle clue becomes what I sought. Edges converge where the city is taught. Mind calibrated, every pattern caught. Yeah. Post steady in the hum of the block. I navigate through with a mental lock. Yeah. Angle refined where the night unlocks. Fast flow architect on the urban clock. Oh, refined angles, mind sharp through the grind. Fast flow threading all the edges I find. City moves wild, but I stay aligned. Every step deliberate, every word defined. Refined angles, mind sharp through the grind. Fast flow threading all the edges I find. City moves wild, but I stay aligned. Every step deliberate, every word defined. Fast threads calling a precise design. Every thought tuned, every movement aligned. Refined angles in a measured climb. I trace the skyline, keep the rhythm in time. My mind calibrated, edges intertwined. Fast flow mastery in a dense urban line. Steps deliberate, every bar combines. Closing the night with refined angle defined.
Yeah. Hey. Yeah.
City hums low in the midnight drift. Fast flow lines like a subtle gift. Every corner signals in a coded twist. I map the lanes where the night persists. Angle sharp, every micro move red. Hold steady, no words left unsaid. Humor flicks light in the shadow thread. I slice through tension with a mind well fed. Signals bend where the neon's thin. Edges collide, but I glide within. Every rhythm counted in a mental spin. Fast flow mastery in the veins I pin. Self-contained focus, every bar precise. I thread through currents with the calm device. Observations edge in the city slice. Edge frequency tuned to the urban splice. Edge frequency, mind sharp through the haze. Fast flow threading all the signals I raise. City spins loud, but I hold my ways. Every step deliberate, every bar displays. Edge frequency, mind sharp through the haze. Fast flow threading all the signals I raise. City spins loud, but I hold my ways. Every step deliberate, every bar displays. Nightscape bending in the coldest scheme. I pass the fragments in a lucid dream. Angles shifting in the undercurrent stream. Fast lines cutting with a subtle gleam. Humor in the hint where the tension would crack. I weave through shadows, no turning back. Self-built logic in the silent track. Every move calculated, nothing I lack. Edges ripple where the skyline bends. I trace each pattern as the night extends. Observation sharp in the flows I send. Fast flow crafting every verse I defend. City may roar, but my rhythm aligns. Threads interlace in meticulous lines.
lines. Mind calibrated where the motion refines. Edge frequency rules where the vision shines. Fast trans pivot in a lattice frame. Every subtle cue becomes part of the game. Angles converge where the currents claim. I stay composed while the streets inflame. Thoughts interlock like gears in the wheel. Every small decision strengthens the steel. Urban symphony in the quiet real. Edge frequency guides the moves I feel. Edge frequency, mind sharp through the haze. Fast flow threading all the signals I raise. City spins loud but I hold my ways. Every step deliberate, every bar displays. Edge frequency, mind sharp through the haze. Fast flow threading all the signals I raise. City spins loud but I hold my ways. Every step deliberate, every bar displays. Fast threads coil in a measured line. Every thought precise, every move aligns. Edge frequency running through the spine. I close the night with the rhythm defined. Urban currents flow, patterns combine. Fast flow mastery in decoded design. Mind stay sharp as the skylines entwine. Closing the set with edge freak refined. Yeah, 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 yeah.
Hey, 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 yeah, hey. City spreads wide in the twilight skin. Fast flow even where the stories began. Every alley, every corner, coated with care. I move through the noise like it's unaware. Angles refined in the hum of the streets. Patterns converge where the logic meets. Humor tucked light in a verbal beat. I thread through tension with a rhythm discreet. Pulse calibrated, mind never sways. Tracking subtle signals in 1,000 ways. Every bar measured in the shadows light. I scope the past in the depths of the night. Self-contained focus, observation keen. Every micro detail part of the scene. Fast flow mastery in the urban stream. Final vantage set where the vision gleams. Final vantage, mind sharp through the grind. Fast flow threading all the insights I find. City moves chaotic but I stay aligned. Every step deliberate, every word defined. Final vantage, mind sharp through the grind. Fast flow threading all the insights I find. City moves chaotic but I stay aligned. Every step deliberate, every word defined. Yeah, nightscape folding in a calculated arc. I read the pulses hidden in the dark. Edges intersect where the currents play. Fast flow cut in through the shades of gray. Humor in the hint where the doubts might lie. I navigate through as the echoes fly. Self-built logic in a mental sky. Every pattern captures before it can die. Angels merge in a silent parade. Every fleet of motion carefully weighed. Observation sharp in the urban cascade. Fast lines threading where the paths are laid. City may roar, but my focus sustains. Every insight harvested, nothing remains. Mind refined as the skyline wanes. Final vantage holds what the night contains. Fast trans pivot in a lattice of thought. Every subtle cue becomes what I saw. Patterns converge where the night is taught. I stay composed while the streets are fraught. Thoughts interlock like gears in a frame. Every small decision strengthens the aim. Urban symphony, I play in the shade. Final vantage guides the moves I made. Final vantage, mind sharp through the grind. Fast flow, threading all the insights I find. City moves chaotic, but I stay aligned. Every step deliberate, every word defined. Final vantage, mind sharp through the grind. Fast flow, threading all the insights I find. City moves chaotic, but I stay aligned. Every step deliberate, every word defined. Of the night coil in a precise line. Every thought tuned, every movement aligns. Final vantage in a measured climb. I trace the skyline, keep the rhythm in time. Calibrated edges intertwine. Fast flow mastery in a dense urban line. Steps deliberate, every bar combined. Closing the album with final vantage defined.